Okay, today is Monday, September 17th. You need to open your spiral to the next clean page, title your notes page, writing expressions and equations, and put today's date. You need to make sure that you're writing down everything you see in this video so that you have good notes in your spiral. And remember, you can pause this video at any time if you need to catch up on your notes, but make sure you have it all copied down. Okay, so we're going to be talking about how we write expressions and equations from words into an algebraic expression or equation. So you need to draw this chart in your spiral. It needs to be 5 rows by 4 columns. And each column title needs to be the 4 operations: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So we're going to start with addition. Some key words that you need to write down under the addition column are plus, more than, increased, and sum. And there are others that I haven't included here, like the word and is sometimes indicative of addition. All right, subtraction. We have minus, less, or less than. Now be careful, less and less than mean 2 different things, and we're going to look at that in some examples in just a second. All right, decreased and then difference. Difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. All right, multiply is the next one. Times, of means, in most cases, depending on the context, of means multiply. Product, and then twice. Twice means 2 times. All right, and then finally we have division. It could be indicated by divided by, groups, or quotient. Okay, so we're going to do some examples. You need to make sure that you write down each example and solve it with me. Number 1 says 12 more than a number. So I'm going to highlight some keywords here. I see more than. So we know more than means addition. So this one would be 12 plus a number. We don't know what number, so we use a variable. I tend to use n most of the times, but you could use any variable you'd like. All right, 12 plus n. Now addition is commutative, so on this one we would also accept n plus 12. Number 2, the quotient of a number divided by 9. So a couple of keywords, quotient and divided by mean the same thing, division. So the number we don't know, we're going to use a variable. I'm going to use n again, and it says to divide it by 9. Now, 9 divided by n would not be the same thing. We could not do that. N divided by 9 is your answer. Number 3, 4 times a number. Times is our keyword. It means multiplication. Now, we don't want to write it like this. Not only does this times sign look like an X, but it's not really getting you prepared for algebra. So, you need to write any product with a variable just like this, where the number comes right next to the left of the variable. What we're going to be talking about, or we've already talked about, is that this 4, and if you don't have this in your notes, this 4 we call a coefficient. The number that is being multiplied by a variable we call a coefficient. All right, number 4, 15 less than a number. Okay, here's less than that I was mentioning earlier. Less than means subtraction, but it's important to know that less than means to flip the order. So it's saying 15 less than a number. So it means you have a number and you want 15 less than that. So this would be n minus 15. Now the other term, less, without the than, less, if it said less, it would be written as 15 minus n. Oops. 15 minus n. Okay, so there is a difference. On number 4, you should have n minus 15. Okay, there is a difference between less and less than. All right, number 5, 1 less than the product of 3 and m. So a couple of things I noticed, less than and product. Oh, my computer's freezing. Oh. All right, there we go. Product of 3 and m. I'm going to start with product because I know the product of 3 and m looks like 3m. And I want 1 less than that. So that means 3m minus 1. Not 1 minus 3m. All right, and last one, number 6, the product of 4 times a number minus 8. So again, product is a keyword and minus is a keyword. Times also indicates multiply. So our product is between 4 and a number, and we don't know what number, so we're going to use a variable, 4n. That's how we write product. And then minus 8. So that one was pretty easy. All right, now let's look at some equations. And we're going to use our skills that we learned today to solve these equations after we write them. So write down number 7. A number minus 6 equals 12. So our equation would look like this. N minus 6 equals 12. And then I'm going to go over here off to the side and solve it. N minus 6 equals 12. We talked about inverse operations today. And the inverse operation of subtraction would be addition. So I need to add 6 to both sides. Those cancel out, and we're left with 18. So n equals 18. Write that down. Number 8, a number plus 14 equals 25. So again, our equation, n plus 14 equals 25. I'm going to solve it over here. The inverse operation of addition is subtraction. So I need to subtract 14 from both sides to isolate my variable. And that leaves me with n equals 11. Number 9, 3 more than 5 times the number of dogs is 18 dogs. So some keywords to point out. Let me get my highlighter. More than, which we know means addition, and times means multiply, is a way of representing the equal sign. So I'm going to start with my multiplication. 5 times the number of dogs. So I'm going to use the letter D this time for my variable for dogs. And I want 3 more than that, so plus 3. And that's equal to 18. So to solve this one, inverse operations, we want to add 3 to, we want to subtract 3 from both sides, minus 3 from both sides. And I'm going to come over here. That leaves us with 5d equals 15. Now this is multiplication, so we want to divide to undo it. And we're going to divide by 5 to cancel it out and isolate our variable. So d equals 3. 3 dogs. All right. Number 10. 2 less than the quotient of a number divided by 12 is 2. So I have quotient, and divided by, meaning the same thing, and I want less than, and that means subtraction. And again, we have is to represent equals. So I'm going to start with quotient, the quotient of a number, and 12. So n divided by 12. 2 less than that, so that would be minus 2. Not 2 minus, but minus 2. And that's equal to 2. Again, to solve, we want to start with our addition or subtraction, and to undo subtraction, we're going to add. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. That cancels, and I'm left with n over 12 equals 4. Now to undo division, I need to multiply by 12 on both sides. I'm going to put this one over 1 so it matches my fraction, and times 12 over here. And I know that these cancel, and I'm left with n equals 48. Write that down in your notes. All right, last one, number 11. The product of 5 and y added to 3 is 33. My keywords this time are product and add. And here's is to represent equals. So my equation, I'm going to start with product, the product of 5 and y. And then we want to add 3 to that, plus 3 equals 33. Now to undo the addition, I need to subtract by 3 on both sides. That leaves me with 5y equals 30. And now I need to undo my multiplication by dividing by 5 on both sides. So y equals 6. All right, make sure you have all of the examples written down in your notes. Make sure you've taken good notes. Your teacher will be checking them at the beginning of class tomorrow, and it's going to be really helpful that you've taken good notes because of the lesson we're going to be working on tomorrow. It has more to do with writing equations and solving them. If you need to go back and jot down anything that you missed, you're welcome to do so.